The Beat Mafia beats is like trash.
Was Beat Mafia like your first brand? Like that was the first
Yeah.
handle you started producing content
Yep.
under?
Yep. I used to rap. I used to rap with this group called Focus Gang. And we was all friends, you know what I'm saying, neighborhood friends, and we was rapping, and I I was producing beats. And Leonard, he knew how to produce beats too, but he always like seemed like he needed my help when it came down to producing beats, like he needed my input
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But I would make beats for us to rap over. And we'd go to the club, we'd shut it down. Like they'd go crazy, you know what I'm saying? One time we even started a fight up at Bullfrog, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I didn't want to rap no more because we was coming out of our pockets for trying to do a show, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, we never get any money back for this. We turning up, we buying weed, we buying liquor, we paying at the door just to perform
Right.
and to go home
Right.
empty hand, you know what I'm saying? Empty
Yeah.
pocket, you know what I'm saying? So
How long was y'all actually doing that though? Like,
I was
coming
doing
out of
that-
pocket to perform.
I've been doing that since 15 years old, and I stopped at 20, I'm 27, about 25 I stopped. I'm 27 now.
So about 10 years.
Yep.
Okay. And so during that like 10-year stretch, did y'all like have like a certain like, where was y'all like sending the traffic pretty much to like, because most people, they forget about what, I guess it's called like retaining.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can get somebody's attention, but how do you retain their attention? Like, how do you keep them pretty much involved with what you got going on? Like those people that y'all was performing for 10 years ago who was coming to the shows or was actually messing with y'all music, do y'all still like communicate with them?
No.
And put out content?
No. It seemed like we wasn't doing nothing right. We wasn't doing anything right. Every show we went to, it wasn't no new fans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it wasn't old fans that already had heard us. It was always new fans.
Okay.
So we try to get their reaction. It was more of a for fun type thing. You know what I'm saying? More of a for fun than I want to make some money off of this. You know what I'm saying? And we always got good reaction, but it was this one day. I was coming off the stage and I'm pissy drunk, high, and this guy he had came up to me like, "Damn, that beat bang." He was like, "Who made that beat?" I'm like, "I did." He was like, "Man, stop lying." I'm like, "Bro, I ain't lying, I made that beat." He was like, "Bro, you need to make beats."
He gave you the idea.
They gave me the idea.
How old was you at the time?
17. And I was thinking, I'm like, and my dad had died too when I was 17. I got him tattooed on my arm, rest in peace to him. But he died from cancer, but that's another thing. He always supported me, and nobody else supported me over my beats. My dad supported me over my beats. But I'm like, I can get paid from producing. You know what I'm saying? My first time I got paid was I started putting beats on YouTube. Once he said that, I'm like, I don't want to rap no more. So I started making beats and putting them on YouTube. No other outlet. I'm putting them on YouTube. And for a minute while I was putting them on YouTube, I didn't even expect for them to sell. You know what I'm saying? I was just putting them on YouTube more or less for people to comment and tell me is it sweet or not, like I was doing rapping.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To get a reaction. This guy from Twitter came and he had said, it was a beat called Fright Night. And he had said, is you Rule? He said, "Is you Ruler Don?" That's the name I was going by. And back then. And I had said, "Yeah, bro." I'm like, "This is my page. You see the name?" I'm like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Well, I heard this beat called Fright Night on your YouTube, and I wanted to ask you how much was it." I'm like, "Oh, how much?" I'm like, $25. That's the first thing that came to mind. You know what I'm saying? I still smoke my weed and drunk then. So I'm like, shit, I need $25 so I can go get high.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got no money in my pocket. I can go get a quarter or something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, $25. First thing that came to mind, he was like, "How I'm gonna get the money to you?" I started thinking, I'm like, "Western Union." He like, "Okay." So we went up to the liquor store. My bro took me up to the liquor store, and I got the $25. Once we exchanged information, I got the $25, and I just was like, wow, when I held it. And I just started laughing. I'm like, I actually sold my first beat, man.
That's
like,
awesome, bro.
It felt so good.
Let me
you
tell you, bro, because like, and that's the most important thing. Because I remember like when I just first got into like just the world of entrepreneurship, and I actually like from my own fucking brain came up with an idea and created a customer to pay me for that idea. It was like phenomenal. That's the experience that you had.
Yes.
And I think the thing is too, and like why it's important to hurry up and get that experience out the way is so you can learn like, you know, you only get 15 minutes of fame. You don't want to get too high on your own supply.
Right.
And like if it's anything I learned, like, you know, you really gotta close your eyes to like most feedback. Like whether it's positive feedback or negative feedback, it's you could equally value it, but also it's just like 50-50. 50% value that shit and 50% not really give a fuck about that shit. Cause like people compliment me all the time on, you know, what I'm good at and, you know, what they appreciate me for. And I'm like, hey, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I can have a conversation with you, right? And what I'm saying don't quite resonate right then and there. Mm-hmm. But then you see a video that I dropped and you like, hey, man, you know what? You really, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, motherfucker, I just said that to you last week.
Right.
But I guess it was something about the timing of the video because you never know what version of what you've been saying for the last so years is going to meet up with the right place at the right when they want to, when it's convenient for them to consume the information. You know what I'm saying? So like, so timing, you know what I'm saying? And then right now, like, since we're so early in our, you know, in our careers, like that $25, like even though it was a priceless moment, it didn't really do much for your life, right? It didn't really make a difference.
$25 was gone the first day,
bro. Right, you feel what I'm saying? That shit was gone. I remember when I got the first client for my to build his website. I was so excited, bro. He gave me $197. I'll never remember it. I'll never forget it. So I'm like, okay, $197. Let's get it, baby. I'm about to work on his website. I was burnt the fuck out in a couple days. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, bro. Like, I can't keep doing this because I was nowhere near close to finishing the website. The shit dragged on for like weeks, bro, where like I just had to make this change for him or that wasn't working. So it's like a real headache. And like, was this shit worth $197 that was gone 2 days after he gave it to me? Yeah. So it's like really like you're not really popping until you can create a customer experience for a large amount of people and it didn't cost you that much of your time because the process around you is already in place. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like you got your marketers, you got the people running your social media pages or building your website, making sure that's maintained and or just doing different tasks that you don't got to handle so you can focus on the high level shit, which is being the creative, being the person creating the beats. Right. Like if you could spend most of your time doing the one thing that, you know, that generates the income, which is making the fucking beats in the first place, right, you could be more productive than trying to be the guy figuring out how Facebook ads work or how Instagram ads work. You know, you need to be focused on your craft. Okay. And so like when you look at the biggest and most best thriving companies like Microsoft, you know, Bill Gates, he don't have to like do everything every day. He just got to focus on one thing and let everybody else do what the fuck they do. So, right. So pretty much what I'm saying is like we at the phase in our careers to where right now that little $100 somebody would give us for our service or $200 or $1,000, that's not gonna do nothing for our lives right now. We really value their attention more right now than their money. If we can keep their attention, it's much more valuable in the long run. Okay. You'll be able to leverage it at a later time. So like.
That's 100.
Yeah, so like, man, just whatever you can give out for free. I'm gonna give you an example. This dude, his name is Lakey. His name is Lakey Inspire. Have you ever heard of him? No. He put out beats. He live in LA, right? Mm-hmm. He just dropped beats for free from his rooftop loft downtown LA. He dropped beats for free. He like, yo, use my shit. It's royalty free. Do whatever you want to do with it. Mm-hmm. Will Smith one day fucked around and used one of his beats for like one of his production videos and shit. Got his shit mad exposure and shit. Wow. And that was just the result of just being consistent and just getting attention like that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause he was running thousands and thousands of people to his shit. So you never know who gonna come across your shit, bro.
And it speak to a certain confidence you gotta have in your craft to even do something like that.
Yes, exactly.
That's risky.
I got a cousin that's so selfish with his production skills, bro. Helios. He's selfish with it. Like, he don't want nobody to buy his beats, nobody to hear it. You only hear it when you hear the song. Like, he don't.
Shout out to Helios, though. He's a good artist.
He got his own style of doing shit, though.
Definitely.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like,
Definitely.
Lakey took a different approach. You know what I'm saying? So, like, he decided to like just give value first. And that's what Gary Vee called the jab, 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 right hook strategy. Because, you know, like, when you're giving out value, you know, you just jabbing at them. But as soon as you start trying to sell to your audience, that's that right hook. That's when you really going in. And you got to make sure you're going in at the right time. Because once you start selling to them, it changes the whole dynamic of your relationship with them. Mm-hmm. You know, because once they feel like, oh, he just a salesman. Yeah, oh, fuck. Because we hate seeing commercials, bro. We hate being marketed to. But if you can sell me on a narrative or a storyline, or I'm buying into your story, what you live, what you believe, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I buy into that first, whatever product you put your name on, I'm invested in. Okay. Period. Right. So that's what it's called. That's a topic called brand resonance. Mm-hmm. When your beliefs and values resonate with the beliefs and values of another person or business or entity. Yeah. So like once that happens, you got that person for life because that person becomes a little bitty fire. Right? Let's say you send somebody a beat and that beat was just, they really appreciated you for that. Mm-hmm. They gonna become a little fire, and that little fire can burn down big ass buildings. Like that little fire go on to tell other people, yo, I got a beat from such and such. Right. Yo,
dude, we ain't gonna blow that fire.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And keep that bitch going. But it's about just them little fires that you out there setting. And we talking about being patient, so this is over the course of like years, like 4 or 5 years, bro. We
just talking about
like because let's say you just decided to just set fires for the next 10 years and see what the fuck they can burn down when you 37. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what the fuck you done burnt down and shit. But just giving value though, and then even if motherfuckers decide they're not gonna do business with you and actually buy from you, bro, watch what your funeral look like if anything happened to you. That's just the results of just giving people value, bro. Right. Something they appreciate, bro. They coming to your funeral, bro. They appreciate you just as a person. So like, so let's say you did a podcast and shit, like, right, and you know what I'm saying, you was just talking about the Jumpman topic for like shit the next 10-15 years, right? Because them shoes, they're gonna always be relevant. But if you decided on year 16 that, all right, I'm about to see if I can come out with a product for them, it's probably still too soon. Just keep it growing, bro. Like I said, until an outside entity notice you and can give you an opportunity there. Okay. So, yeah, man, I'm excited to see, like, you know, where your journey go. Because you seem real, like, you know what I'm saying, like a sponge, like you're just soaking in that information. Yeah. And that's one thing I hope that, like, I can bring value with my information to somebody else who is probably just missing it. Because, like he said, you know, some people are just, like, trailblazers, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes they blaze the path, and you know what I'm saying, you can be like, all right, I see what he's doing, you know what I'm saying, and then feed off that. Because right now, that's how I am with Gary Vee. And if you're not following him, I just recommend that you do. Okay. Because that's all he do is just give value. Like, he's not trying to sell shit.
As soon as we get done talking, I'll follow him.
That's a dope leader right there.
Yeah.
That's a leader. You know, every boss is not a leader. Every leader is not a boss.
Right.
That's a leader right there.
Okay. For sure, man.
For the simple fact, he'll keep it 100 with you. On every video he dropped.
He's not gonna sugarcoat shit, man.
And you can take something and apply it to your own business, whatever it is.
Whatever you do.
That's a
good person to have on your team.
That's a good resource right there.
Yeah, and he give high level business and marketing tactics that you never heard nowhere else. Okay. He get all that shit to you for free. Like he let you sit for free. He lets you sit in on meetings that he's having with these Fortune 500 companies that's struggling, and the fucking simple advice that he gives to all of them. The simple shit he tells all of these companies that they just doing wrong, and you get the chance to soak all that in for free. It's like, you know,
you don't meet too many people giving out free game though.
Yeah,
you don't.
That's priceless.
Yeah, and he said what keeps him going is the emails that he get from people saying, "Dude, you changed my life, bro." And when you realize you changing lives, that shit it becomes an engine itself that keeps you driving. Because, you know, he realized that the level of consistency that he has to have to provide what he's trying to provide, it's gonna have to be a scary level of consistency. And bro, he been doing that. He posts every day for the last like 4 years. I've been following this dude, bro. So he told his cameraman, like, look, bro, it's about to get to the point where we about to be sleeping in the same bed because I'm about to keep this thing rolling, like. Right. People just generally give a fuck about what other people got going on in their lives, bro. This is why social media is dominating. Right. So, like, it's a place where we can, like, hang out and be nosy and just, like, see what other people got going on in their lives. So, so pretty much, like, all the world's attention is with it being so centered, and like he said, he values data so much more than it used to be valued,
Right.
because that data is important, towards like whoever you're trying to reach and the message that you're trying to communicate to them, like, because you could try to, let's say you pay for a commercial and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Commercials are probably like mad fucking expensive, but a fucking ad on the timeline costs you like 10 cents. You know what I'm saying? To get across like somebody who give a fuck. Like if I'm selling like weight loss medication,
Right.
but somebody's grandma, skinny ass grandma, is watching Law and Order, like I paid for that, that commercial, but she's not one of my customers. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Until she see that.
exactly. So social media, it knows who we are. We're doomed, bro. Ain't no privacy concerns here in America.
Right.
We gave up all of our privacy rights.
Right. That's 100.
with these platforms. We like, yep. We exchange all of our information to use the platforms. Like, yep.
Right.
Here, you can know exactly who I am, who I like, what I prefer, where I shop, what I'm interested in, what I believe, what I hate, all of that. Here,
What
you
I
can
bought.
Yep, you can have all that insight.
All of that.
And so, like, it's
For free. And they've been doing it
exactly.
since the earliest of times. You just now seeing documentaries being put out on Netflix and all that shit. But at the end of the day, they've been building this shit since 2000, bro. Like,
Yeah, this shit been being
before
built
that,
for a while, bro.
Data is just something, it controls your life.
Damn.
At this point.
At this point, yep.
this
At this
point.
point, it's more pivotal.
At this
It's
point,
the new gold.
I was telling my bro, I'm like, we just got on the subject. When my family go out to eat, we all just get on the phone and be into social
That's
media.
that's the new behavior of humans.
But I remember before then,
yeah,
we'd talk at the table, laugh, have these different little conversations, you know
yep.
what I'm saying? Now it's,
Talk shit.
my sister, she watching a movie or something.
Somebody,
you know what I'm saying?
somebody reacting to a funny
my
video.
nephew, he on his tablet, my bro, one of my brothers, he had his phone playing the game, you know what I'm saying? It's like my mom, she on Facebook, you know what I'm saying?
That's
it's
crazy.
Like, so all social media, all
this
technology, you know
This
what I'm
is
saying?
how it
This
all
is
evolves,
something-
and we don't really get the chance to decide how technology affect our lives. We just kind of watch how we're evolving to the shit. So like you said,
but this is something I believe technology and music is always going to be there. This is something that's going to be there until the day that the earth, everybody leave from this bitch.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Technology and music is going to always be there.
I think like those four industries are always going to be intertwined, like technology, music, sports, business. Like they all can kind of go into the same.
And that's the world, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Technology is everything, man.
Yeah.
We're putting technology in stores to where now, cash registers, it's no longer somebody just ringing your shit up. You're going straight to a machine and it's making it way more fast.
Way more
people
efficient.
Looking for more efficiency.
We care
bang for the
care
buck.
about less friction, right?
Right.
So the reason why we're recording right now is because like audio in the next 10 years is going to dominate everything.
Right.
Because it's easier for me to say, Alexa, I'll take a burger and a fry, than to actually pull out my phone, go to the app, pick a burger.
Right,
pick a fry.
right.
Why
That's
am I
a
doing
fact.
all that when I could just tell my Alexa to have that shit on the
That's
way?
a fact.
Exactly.
So
And
like,
Alexa
voice,
got your data for what you like already.
period. She already got it. So
She a
voice
perfect
activated
wife.
products are
Yeah.
going to dominate. And with us using these voice activated products, I can say, Alexa, turn on Cordell, and pick my motherfucking YouTube channel pop up, and my podcast just pop up while they doing whatever they doing, because it's passive consumption. They can
Okay.
do something else while they consuming my content, and it makes them double productive. I can
Okay.
work out and listen to it. I can do the dishes. I can walk
Right.
the dog. But and you can start a podcast around any subject too. That's why it's almost like your own radio station. Podcast is the new radio.
Okay.
YouTube is the new TV.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And it's funny because everybody who was doing news and on the actual radio was laughing at podcasts years ago.
laughing at that shit, bro.
It wasn't just that long ago. This shit is relatively new.
Yeah.
It ain't even really a solidified business model for it yet.
It's not
how do you
solidified at
make-
all.
How do you make money, or how do you?
Every
you know what I'm saying?
business needs a podcast right now. Every last one of them could benefit right now from a podcast. No matter if you cut grass, you plumb, you fix refrigerators, you could use a podcast, bro. And it's gonna be useful to somebody out there.
Yeah.
Like the other day, I needed help fixing my furnace. Like my furnace, I went out. I had accidentally turned the gas off for too long. The furnace went out. I just went on YouTube. It's a dude with a bootleg ass camera in his basement, showed motherfuckers how to do it. Guess what? He got over 2 million views because nobody else is willing to make a little, a little video on it. So he like, look, that's how you do it.
Tutorial.
Killed that shit. So he got all the attention on his page now, type shit, and he can leverage that. You know what I'm saying, for his business if that's what he do, type shit. So, man, it's really unlimited. It's unlimited the power and the potential that it has. But
and that's another
any subject.
That's another thing that I wanted to do when I was thinking about my business. I was telling bro, I'm like, I want to get a camera because not only can I work on our image, but it'd be a lot of people asking me, mainly females, that's first for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be a lot of people asking me, how do you make beats on FL Studios? I wanted to get a camera so I could show them a step-by-step process of how I make my beats. Just a basic trap beat.
You got you got a laptop though, right?
Yep, I got a laptop. I got monitors. I got everything the studio needs.
So you could just use Loom.
Loom.
Yeah, that's a website. You go to the website. You can download the extension, and then with that extension, it'll record your screen and your audio. So
laptop.
Yep, from the laptop,
webcam.
And you can like walk them through it. Like I use Loom sometimes, like when I'm teaching people how to trade forex and stocks. I use Loom to like explain what I'm talking about, and they can they looking at my screen as I'm explaining it, and they can hear my voice, and I can like take that snippet and play it back, and I can put it on YouTube where people can see it.
Okay.
So you can become a go-to source like for how to's and shit.
Right.
You know how to add this effect, how to do that effect, how to turn that down, how to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just different shit that people need to know out here, and you could be a go-to source for that.
Okay.
Just giving them that information, and you not asking for shit in exchange. But the minute they suspect that he just trying to get something out of me, they gonna look the other direction. And this is why Gary is winning right now. Like this is why he's like dominating and taking over and shit. He said I could easily have like 10 extra million followers if I didn't cuss. But he's like, I don't give a fuck because I'm gonna be me.
Right.
Type shit. Like
Exactly.
I'm gonna grow an audience around who I actually am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not sugarcoating it for nobody.
At the end of the day, people gonna want you to be you.
They want you to be you.
Yeah.
And like he said, what people biggest fear is why they say, I gotta have a better camera, or I need a better mic, or I gotta wait till I'm living this type of life, is because they care what Johnny Pants 86 say in the comment section. He commented and say, "Oh, you stupid." That just ruined your whole fucking day, huh?
Right.
That just random motherfucker called you stupid, like, or said you was weak or trash. Like,
Yeah.
Like what? Like how is everything you do? How is that person's opinion who don't even know you dictate what you do?
And then you on that factor, you looking at the world, and everybody gonna have an opinion.
Everybody, they're entitled to it.
Right.
It's
Right.
theirs.
So that's something you got to be ready for.
So, and one of the interesting things, bro, that I watch happen, because I have like family members and stuff that I always wanted to say certain things to that I just didn't want to ruin our relationship. So I'm like, I'm gonna hold my tongue. Mm-hmm. But I say it indirectly through my content, and they can hear that, and they can get the lesson through that. It's become a more powerful way to communicate with the people that I love. So like, I even got a cousin. She's 16. I'm 25 years old. We can't hang out and go kick the shits. You know what I'm saying? We don't. You know what I'm saying? We don't just on two different levels in our lives, and we just, you know what I'm saying? It just wouldn't work that way. But she can consume my content, and I can like educate her through that. So the other day, I got a random call from her saying thank you for the credit video. And when I make content, bro, the last person on my mind is my little 16-year-old female cousin.
Fact.
I'm trying to help. I got an ideal person I'm trying to help, but the last person on my mind was her. And she called me to say thank you about that credit video. I'm like, damn.
Right.
I didn't even know I was like helping her. You know what I'm saying? So you never know who your content is impacting or affecting. And people are always watching, even if they're not liking and commenting. That's always
why it's
like
so powerful.
And it scares me, bro.
That's why
because
it's so powerful.
It scares
You're so
me, Von.
responsible with every word you say.
It scares me, Von, bro, because I got
Why?
people who shit I don't interact with, but I've been following them for years just to keep up. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Let me see what this ass doing now. You don't know I'm watching, but I'm watching though.
Yeah.
Like, I got people I've been doing that shit too, so I know like I got people like that too.
Yeah,
who
people
seeing,
watching
like,
you from
Yeah.
afar. They ain't saying nothing, but
yeah,
they
let me
watching.
see if his ass fall off.
Yeah.
Right.
He fall off yet? No, he's still posting.
Yeah.
Like they want to know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, man, you just never know. Like, it could be a simple tweet now, bro. That's why, like I said, I love Twitter. I could put out a simple tweet, and the motherfucker get something from it, like, bro, thank you for that. Like, what the fuck? Like, I was just saying some shit, but I'm like, all right, it's just the power of content, just the power of just putting your opinion out there, you know, or putting your creative out there without giving a fuck, without filtering it.
When you really got something to say, people respect it. Regardless of how big you are, if you got a title that's attached to your name, like, I'm nobody, but still at the same time, you know, we all trying to be somebody.
We all, exactly.
So it's just fucked up when you trying to be somebody that you're not without putting in no work.
Yeah,
like,
without putting in the work,
chasing something, a different version of yourself. You feel me? But at the same time, it's the work people respect.
Right.
Fuck the bullshit and the talk.
Damn,
Stay original.
He just hit it right on the nose, bro. Because when we first learned about the power of social media marketing for small businesses, we went out to these small businesses and was telling them like, "Yo, you should try social media. You should hire us to do it. We can do it for you. We make you a lot more money." They're like, "Well, who have you worked with? Nobody." I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Like, I don't know what you can do.
Give a nigga a chance.
Like, what's up? I'm not about to be no experiment with your ass. Goddamn, you know what I'm saying?
All this bread on the line. You don't get me fired in this bitch.
I'm trying to figure out if I'm about to fire my cashier because he cost me too much money. You want me to go all in on you motherfucking amateurs? Like, so we had to come with a new approach, bro. So when I moved out to Austin, Texas, it's funny how it happened. I was actually homeless over there for 2 weeks. I was supposed to be staying in the apartment that my buddy lived in. He actually was staying with a female friend, so the apartment wasn't being used for a while. So I came down to Texas to move in that bitch, and that bitch had fleas, bro.
Damn.
It was infested with fleas. So I'm like, I can't stay here, brother.
Right.
So he was trying to figure shit out, you know, called an exterminator. That didn't work out. So what I had to do, he let me borrow his truck. I was sleeping in his fucking truck and just like going to work and shit. Like sleep in the truck, going to work. I'll come back. I would use the apartment to like take showers, but I would not spend too much time in that bitch. Yeah. I'd take my shower and dip back out that bitch. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or put shit in the refrigerator and leave out. But that was it. So I slept in the car for 2 weeks, and then I was working at a call center. I got hired at a call center a week after I got there. The training director of the call center was laying down the ground rules of that call center, like on the second day, second day or whatever. And he was like, so one of the biggest things we don't do at the call center is we don't spread rumors about people. So that's just like me saying, hey, y'all, I heard Cordell been sleeping in the car. Mm-hmm. That's probably why his hair all messed up. Like, I'm like, what the fuck, man? As an example, somebody sleeping in the fucking car. What the fuck you know? Sleeping in the car. So, you know, my ego was shrunk as hell after that, right? Yeah. I'm like, damn.
He said that, though? He said he used you as the example?
Bro, he used me.
Oh, he was telling you.
He used me.
He was just telling you, like, you know, I know, nigga.
But he shouldn't have known. He should not have known.
He was letting you know the rumor. Like, that's the safest. Hey, you take that to HR. He like, well, I was just warning the nigga, you know.
Yeah, I was just telling people, like, you don't spread rumors around the call center. Like, so at the end of the day, I asked him, I'm like, yo, what made you want to use me as an example? Because I was given, at the beginning of the day, you got to talk about what you learned the previous day. So I was talking about what I learned. He was like, hey, man, I noticed when you, right before you start talking, you always smack your lips. So he was like, what you eat for breakfast? I was like, noodles. He was like, okay, all right. I said, hey, see me after work today. So I came to him after work that day. Mm-hmm. And he was like, man, why you be eating on noodles? Like, what's the deal? You ain't got nothing to eat? I'm like, to be honest with you, man, I just moved here from Detroit, and right now I'm on the budget. And I don't know what made you want to use me as an example, but I have been sleeping in the car for the past 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And man, he took off his glasses. He's like, wow, man. He's like, I apologize if I offended you in any way. I wasn't trying to do that. Like, I didn't even know what you was going through. But he was like, here you go. He pulled out like his checkbook. He wrote me out a $100 check. Was like, man, get you some food, man. Wow. I was like, dude, I appreciate that, man. And he was like, matter of fact, you said you've been sleeping in the car, man. He's like, you know what? If you need a place to stay, you can stay at my place, man. So, what? Yep. So when I was on my way to his place, bro, I went to get my bags from the apartment. I was on my way to his place, and I remember praying. I was just like, please, don't let this dude be gay. Please don't let this dude be gay. I hope he's just a nice man trying to do another nice guy a favor. Right. And he wasn't gay, y'all. He wasn't gay. I caught a break there.
That could have been a little awkward.
Man, right. Oh my God. So, because he was like, yo, you sleeping in the car, you can come stay with me. So I'm like, bet, let's do it. So like when I get to this place, man, dude had a lavish little loft too, lavish.
Okay.
And he like, look, this whole half of the crib is yours, and this is mine. And I'm like, damn, straight. He like, yep, we got a room, it's a bathroom.
That was
You
a
know
pure
what I'm saying?
blessing.
Kitchen right here. I'm like, oh, I
He
appreciate
had
it, bro.
2 bathrooms?
Yep, 2 bathrooms,
That
bro.
was a pure
Nigga.
blessing, bro.
So
Yeah.
so he was the training director at the call center, but he also owned a bakery on the side, right?
No, he owned a bakery and managed the call center
There you
on
go.
the side.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, let me not disrespect you.
Yeah,
hey, big bro, if you
respect.
listening, man, I don't mean to disrespect you like that. You do the call center on the side. The bakery is the primary thing.
Yeah.
And he been baking for 30 years.
Wow.
So yeah, so when I met him, he had a real good like foundational support around Austin, Texas. Like the local people knew who he was. But he wasn't like on social media at all. So I was like, dude, I think I can help you. I think I can help you get a lot more exposure. And so, you know, he just knew my heart and the person that I was, and he knew I wouldn't be trying to get over on him. So he like, well, shit, let's see what you can do with a small little budget, you know? So he was like giving me small budgets to put behind like his ads and build his website, get his logo revamped, and just redo all his branding and shit. So I hired like a photographer and a videographer to come to his crib and shoot a video. We put his brand message out there and got him so much fucking traction that every day his social media get blew up, bro, with like just people in the area who want shit done. Like, and that's a good problem to have.
That's
But
real.
like I made his life so much easier because he used to have to like stop training. He used to have to run out of class, answer calls to take orders of cakes. I made it to where people could just hit his Facebook up and it automatically respond based off FAQs, frequently asked questions, and it can get them like good answers, efficient answers, and send them to the website if they wanted to actually order something.
Okay.
You know? So it was like once he realized I could save him a lot of time, he like, damn.
Yeah.
This dude the real deal. Like, let's see what else you could do. That's when he gave me
Yeah.
permission to build the site, revamp his brand, get the logo made. So I just had a chance to play around with, with somebody else's brand. And so I use that as leverage now when I deal with any other businesses. Like, look, this is what I was able to do. If you go on this website right now, hit the acknowledgement section. I'm on
That's
that.
official.
I'm on that page.
Right.
That's a
That's
stamp.
official.
You
It's a
got
stamp.
it. Nobody take that experience away from you.
Yeah, nobody could take it away from you. You know
What
what
you
I'm saying?
did right there is a simple basis of what Six Sigma is.
Okay.
When you save people money, when you saving companies money, you making it more efficient for him to run his business and still make some bread on the side.
That's what the
Opening
Six Sigma
up-
is, bro.
Opening up revenues or income. I mean, that's not what it is, but that's
that's-
that's what it is. But it's more important about how you use it.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can know how to kick, but when you kick at the right time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all important.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Six Sigma goes into. We go
So how did you earn the black belt?
by earning a green belt first, and then doing different projects, helping with different brands like you did. You know, starting from the ground up, looking for ways to make shit more efficient, less costly, and more valuable. That's what you're looking into. You're looking to make sure, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis, and is it adding value or is it taking away value? Am I losing more money? You know what I'm saying? Am I
Yeah.
keeping my customer happy? Am I slacking? It just keeps you on your toes.
Yeah.
That's who you need in your corner. You need somebody who understands. You know, collecting data and then making decisions based off the data is two different things.
You right.
It's called analytics, you know?
Analytics. Damn. And it's
That's
funny.
strategy. That's everything that businesses have been doing and ramped up. They ramped up over the last few years.
You could be the brokest person in the world, bro. And if you know how to add value to the business, that your circumstance can change overnight. If you can always be an asset to businesses, which are going to always be needed throughout time and existence for humanity, then you ain't never got to really worry about being broke. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like for example,
Man, if you can make somebody money or save them money, you'll always be paid.
if you can make them money or save them money.
If you make somebody money or save them money, you'll always be paid.
I heard a saying that said, you get paid, Earl Nightingale said, you usually get paid in the proportion of three things. Number one, the need for whatever it is that you do. Like the demand has to be there for it to be relevant anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
Number two is your ability to do it. It has to be there.
Yeah.
Right.
Number three is the difficulty involved in replacing your ass. So to just give you an example, if you worked at McDonald's, the need for what you do ain't that high. I don't really need you to take orders. I can have my kiosks do it.
Right.
Your ability to do it don't really have to be there. Anybody with a fucking brain could take a quick order right quick. And I can replace the shit out your ass. So I don't pay you that much. But
Right.
if you Bill Gates, high level fucking thinker, the need for what you do is pretty fucking high. Your ability to do it has to be there. There's years of research involved. And I can't replace you. I have to pay you billions.
Right.
So it seems like the best way to win is to find you a niche and master that niche.
Yeah.
And just double down and triple down on like whatever your strength is. Like,
And that's
You
what
build
I've been
value.
doing.
build value.
That's what I've been doing with my producer. You know what I'm saying? In terms of perfecting my craft, I've been finding my own style. I believe every producer has their own style. Whether it's hell of a, you gonna know a hell of a beat.
You gonna know it when you hear it.
Young Chop from Chicago, you gonna know a Young Chop beat. You know what I'm saying? Every producer got they bird, got they lane. You know what I'm saying? I got my own lane. You can hear in each one of my beats. Hey, I think that Retro Ruler got it made this beat.
Yeah,
you know
I think that's Retro Ruler.
Yep.
And then when they hear your audio tag,
Yep.
like wherever you come in, like Young Chop on the beat,
Yep.
however yours
I got
sound, whatever
Retro.
your tag is, like they gonna know, like this
That's a
finna,
Retro
I
beat.
know this finna bang.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Or when they even see your name in features, like
Yep.
featuring Retro, like oh shit, I know what this about already because
Yep.
they already know your quality and what you bring to the table.
Yep.
And like you know, the fact that you even bringing the whole like, you know, the culture of the retro Jordans, that really kind of solidifies you, bro. Like I've never heard of a niche like that encompasses music and the Jordan culture at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And like combining those two, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a true niche. That's really finding a specific angle in the market. You know what I'm saying? It's not broad. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I gotta get that respect. You know what I'm saying? But
Appreciate
now
that.
at this
I
point,
appreciate that.
it's about what you do with that angle.
Work,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like putting the work in. You know what I'm saying? And just building a community around that.
I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, but I need my team behind me. You know what I'm saying?
For
And
sure.
Right now, I'm working on building me a team.
That's the thing, bro. We all right now one-man armies because right now, like, our biggest leverage is going to be building our personal brands.
right.
Like, who we are as people. Like, if you can build behind that first, as we talked about, it gives you the most leverage moving forward because you can start any business. And the people who fuck with you as a person, it's just going to gravitate that way.
First, you need time. You need time to individually sharpen your skill.
You need that time. You
It's
have
cool
to take
have,
that time.
You know, have a meeting of people like you cool with, but at the end of the day, it's about what you bring to it.
What you bring
Right.
to it.
You gotta
Exactly.
you gotta do some shit. You
For
can't
sure.
just be the cool nigga in the back. I mean, that's cool. You know what I'm saying?
That's
We
true.
always need blunts rolled. You feel me?
Right,
But
right,
at the end of the day, when you sit at the table, we need to come with different angles, and we need to be able to challenge each other in a safe space where we ready to grow. Where we
Exactly.
ready to do this shit. Like, and take sacrifice. And that's two of the main things that's hurt. Like, and at least in my experience of trying to get groups together, it's like the discipline.
Yeah,
And the
discipline.
work. Like, niggas do
Work.
not do that shit.
Wow, bro.
There's no discipline in it. There's no patience in it. Niggas
Right.
want that bread now. It's
They
like,
want
bro,
it
we
right
just
now.
started last week.
We just
Even
started
when we
last
get
week.
paid, this shit ain't going to, you know what I'm saying? We got to feed the machine.
Right. Feed
Just
the
like
machine.
what you were saying earlier about the formula. You got to build a formula.
Mm-hmm.
And then let it work. And it's going to work. It's going to pay you while you sleep.
Exactly.
Like Coca-Cola, they don't make the pop. They
They're
send the
not
syrup.
making pop, bro.
They sending syrup to bottling companies. They Blue Magic. Like, you know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Wow.
Make the formula. Sell that Blue Magic. Niggas is gonna come to it. It's the brand.
Wow.
I ain't never know
They
that.
they not working that hard, basically.
No.
They not working. It's like not
There's
that.
probably
That's
certain
crazy.
sectors of Coca-Cola. I don't want people who working at Coca-Cola to be like, oh no, he on some bullshit. But I'm just saying, it's different sectors to where they like, well, that's what we selling. We selling the syrup to you.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all bottling it. Y'all putting all of that shit into it.
Right.
But at the end of the day, when you can sit back and when you finally get to that point and whatever venture, whatever path you on, where your machine is working for you while you sleep
Yeah,
and you're
where the
feeding
machine
other
works
people,
for you, yeah.
that's when you reach that level of success,
Right.
at least in my head.
And like you said, you want a team, but when you building from the ground up, you're gonna be that one man army right now. But you keep feeding that machine, and then the machine will eventually feed you. So
Exactly.
you'll watch the team around you grow. Like, for example, Henry Ford, right? His daddy realized that he was good with his hands by the time he was like 16 because he lived in Dearborn. And he did a lot of farm work, you know, with his pops and his family. So his pops like, yo, this dude is good with his hands. He always making tools and shit that make farm work easier.
Okay.
Like, I think I want to let him put that to use. So he let him move to Detroit on the west side with his auntie, you know, so he could start working for like Edison and shit and work in his factory or whatever. So he actually got the chance to, you know, work under Edison, like personally, because he became the top worker at his company.
Okay.
And then, you know, once Edison realized, oh, this motherfucker is the truth, he became the mentor to Henry Ford or whatever. But, you know, Henry Ford got sued because, you know, a lot of other auto companies felt like he was taking their ideas, which he was, and he didn't give a fuck. He just wanted to make, you know, transportation easier for people because, you know, it's 16 miles to get from Detroit to Dearborn, and nobody want to keep walking that 16 miles just to go see your moms real quick. So he like, fuck, why can't everybody be able to afford cars? Because back then cars were just for rich people. So he like, you know, took their ideas, shit, and made a cheaper version that he could mass produce.
Right.
And so when he got...
You missed the part.
Go ahead.
George Washington Carver.
George Washington Carver?
That part.
Where did he like pivotally like implement like
Henry Ford
education?
Was fascinated with him because he was fascinated with plants. He would say that the plant, hence why it's called a plant.
A plant.
You know. Also,
Yeah.
but it's short. It could be short for plantation. It
Exactly.
still ran It still ran like the same thing. But George Washington Carver had the thing where he communicated with the plants. The plants spoke to him. So even in a systematic way, you have a patience. You have a different way different phases that you deal with plants. And when you look into an automotive plant, it's broken down into phases.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. But Henry Ford, he grabbed that idea from George Washington Carver.
Wow. Okay. And and like,
fact
you know,
check that. Make sure.
since he was
good.
get back to us on that for sure.
Yeah.
Because like I said, with him being so good with his hands, like, and when they sue him, it's crazy. Like when you go to court for patent sues, you would think they would just ask you relevant questions. They would ask him the dumbest questions ever, bro. Like, who's the first president of the United States? What's the square root of? Like, they was giving him real like actual academic questions and shit like that. All right, let's read it out. So it says, George Washington Carver begins experimental project with Henry Ford. On this day in 1942, the agricultural chemist George Washington Carver, head of Alabama's Farm Tuskegee Institute, arrives in Dearborn, Michigan at the invitation of Henry Ford, founder of Ford Motor Company. Wow. So even he was a mentor.
What?
And so...
No, yo, shit,
So
bro.
Henry Ford,
No, yo, shit.
Henry Ford knew that he didn't have to be educated in certain topics, so they tried to like insult his his level of intelligence by asking him them dumbass questions, and he like, what's the purpose of being educated if I can hire educated people? You know what I'm saying? Because he was he was obviously the sweetest dude at them plants. When he was at the plants, they said he would help everybody. He would be in the brake station helping guys like, come on man, do it like this.
Yeah.
Going up to the headlight section like, yo, he was just cold at all that shit, so he was just bouncing around the plant. He didn't have to worry about advertising, marketing.
He was basically the brains behind
Like, you know what I'm
that.
saying? He was able to double down and focus on what he was doing, feed the machine, and then the machine was able to feed him after a while. You know what I'm saying? So
That system
yeah,
still
so
in
like,
place today.
yep.
Then when you come into the Taylors of the world, they showed them a more efficient way of how to run it. So then it just became, so like you say, you come up with that foundation of how to make it mass output,
Yep.
but how to do it more like efficiently.
Exactly.
At that point, Fred Taylor, I think, was his name.
Fred Taylor.
Yeah, he went in and he brought the whole methodology because all of this shit
Behind like
Toyota, the Mazda days, like the Japanese really perfected. It's still the same.
The assembly
it's
line?
Six Sigma. It's all the same. It's all like that lean. Lean comes from that. It's just making sure that everything is clean. 5S, all that type of shit. It all comes from different cultures that we just pick from. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
pick ideas from, because that's really all you're doing. Like, no idea. I feel like in 2019 is original.
No,
It's just too late. It's a wrap.
Nah. The money is in continuous improvement. It's in capitalizing off of what somebody already did.
Right.
Right.
That's why we
Facts.
remix the
I can
Lion
see that.
Kings and shit like
Facts.
that.
That's all.
And
it
we go
is.
back and dig up and remix Michael Jackson
Even
tracks.
with music,
You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
going, everybody
That's-
takes samples. man.
That reverts back to Jordan. Like, you keep revamping retro.
Yes,
you
just
know what
keep
I'm saying?
on,
Just
like,
making
he
them
keep
different
putting out the
colors,
same
you know?
damn
Because once he
shoes.
realized,
Just
wait a
making
minute,
different
different
colors.
colors.
and
Yeah.
that happened by accident, bro. That happened by just experimenting. Like, well, let's see what happens if we do the same shit we did 10 years ago.
Right.
Oh, they love it even more. What the hell?
They ain't experimented since. They left that shit alone.
Dog.
They probably thinking they just picking out colors from this point, just letting their kids pick the shit
letting
out.
the kids
Right.
like, what you want right here? You
Yeah,
want the
baby.
green?
What's the these spring ones? What color you want them to be?
Damn, got the 5-year-old decide.
Yeah.
But and that just goes back to like just the power of creating a brand, because it don't matter what your product is and what you price it at. Like nobody's gonna, like the market is gonna decide like if it's really worth it.
Right.
So like when you buy Mercedes Benz, you're not really buying because you really like the Benz 9 times out of 10. You buying it because of the name and the brand. You know what I'm saying? And
Bro, I read an article that said Drake was charging people $500 some odd for a ticket at OVO Fest, just for a ticket.
500. I thought that was considered cheap compared to Beyonce tickets.
Either 500 to a G. Like some people was complaining about it, but you know you got people who do that resale for a G. But still, like you just said, Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce. Yeah.
Is Drake Beyonce? Is he
Nah,
at that level? Like,
he like 3 notches under her.
I'm just saying, like that's a strong ass brand, bro.
That's a
bold.
strong brand. That's a strong
that's
brand.
That's bold.
That's a lot of money for.
Not saying this was not worth it. I mean, he done drove his value to where he could do
Wait.
a 2-hour set and
Can
it'd
I
be
ask,
all
I
hits.
gotta ask you,
hits.
where is these tickets? What location will you be in with these tickets for $500?
Toronto.
No, like, is you gonna be in the nosebleeds or what location? You feel what I'm
shit,
saying?
you gonna be
Location
in.
of the ticket, yeah.
You gonna be there to see him.
Okay.
I mean, that's
I'm-
just basically
'cause
how
I don't
it
wanna-
was.
I
It
don't
was
wanna
broken
stand-
down. It was broken down in the packages. So I mean, I guess if you could spend, if you wanted to be closer, you could spend like $1,500.
Oh,
you
no.
could spend like you could spend.
But
3
see,
bands.
and this is
But-
the
but
advantage.
niggas is paying that shit. It's still sold out.
Right. I mean, he got his fan. He got a fan base.
Dog, it was
Yeah.
outraged for about a day, and that shit.
was outraged for a day.
Niggas was like, "Hold my beer. Hold on, let me get these tickets."
Yeah.
Goddamn. Like, it's a wrap.
They was mad for a few minutes, and then that was that.
Right.
Like it is.
Then
what
they
it is.
then they seen niggas who was paying. That's what you need. You need something so strong. Niggas be like, "Is he crazy?" They like, "Is you crazy? I'm about to go
Right,
get this
right,
shit."
period.
You crazy?
Yeah,
right?
that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want the niggas in the middle, like that scratching their head, feeling like on them, like, damn, is this nigga like, okay?
That's what they said. Like, if you throw out a price to your client or customer, and they don't at first like give you some backlash about the price, you need to go up on your prices.
Fact.
They be like, all right,
That's
that
a
mean
fact.
you're not charging enough.
That's a fact. That mean they came in there ready to give you double.
right. So like
They
you
was
know what I'm
sweating. They
saying?
ain't even sleep that night.
Most people don't really know what they worth right now. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like that's why that's the most important thing about building a brand, because once you successfully built it, like you can then put the price on it. You can give it a legit price. You know what I'm saying? That's fair to you and like what your time actually represents at this point. So like, like basically like, let's take an example of a guy like Kanye West. He said he felt like personal brands should be like stock markets.
Okay.
That's
Like you should be able to buy shit. I should be able to buy Kanye shares. Like, oh, I like this dude character. I like where he can go in the next 10 years.
Right.
Let me buy some of his stocks and shit. And who's to say it won't eventually get there where every person becomes their own market? Like, what is this brand gonna go on to produce?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why most of the time, like, it don't matter what your idea is. If you got a genius idea, people don't give 2 fucks about what the idea is. What matters more is the person behind the idea. And that's what venture capital firms look at. Like, who is this entrepreneur that is pitching us this idea? Because ideas come a dime a dozen. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They there. Those guaranteed. But, like, it's not a lot of executors.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like, one of our values at Quicken Loans, one of the core values is ideas are rewarded, but execution is worshipped. Dan Gilbert taught that to Eric Thomas. And Eric Thomas said he took that to heart. He said that shit was tattooed in his heart. So he realized like execution is more important than even discussing your ideas with your friends.
Exactly.
That's a
Fuck
fact.
talking about our ideas, bro.
Let's
Tell me
do
what
it.
you already done.
Or yeah.
Like what you got, what kind of ball you've already got rolling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what people are really mainly attracted to out here. That shit, bro, it has people on your head. So like the fact that I drop little content here and there, I know in my world, I ain't doing shit. But to them, it's like, damn!
Right.
Oh my God! Because execution is worship. They start worshiping you once they see you actually trying. You know what I'm saying? So it don't matter if you actually succeeding. And a lot of people think that you have to be an expert in a certain topic to even give your opinion on it, but you really don't. Let's say you decide you're going to learn real estate. Well, your content starting out could be you learning real estate, so your audience is learning the shit with you.
Right.
Now what, motherfucker? Like you can't
Right.
call me no perpetrator, bitch. I'm learning. I'm showing you what I'm learning. Goddamn it, I'm just
Exactly.
keeping you updated.
Exactly.
But but the fact that they see you executing on that, you're gonna eventually be worshipped by somebody. And it's like Eric Thomas said, your sheep is gonna always know your voice. When you talk, they gonna come running, come
Exactly.
listening. Like,
That's true.
he doing it again.
That's
Like right
a
now,
fact.
I can make a post on Instagram right now, and I know my usual sheep who are gonna respond and like, and engage with the content. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like it's just a matter of me staying patient because I'm only 25. I got 50 more years left, and this is just the type of skin I like to wear optimistically. Like you have to be optimistic because what other else life is there worth living
Right.
than looking at the glass half full and shit? Like I just can't be that guy, bro. I can't be that guy and sit and point at other outside forces as the excuse for why I can't get in motion and start something. It's not my mama fault. It's not my daddy fault. It's not my boss fault. It ain't God fault. I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It ain't nobody fault, bro.
It's your
everything
fault.
is my fault.
You got to do something about that.
Everything is
Period.
my fault. You know what I'm saying? They say a man can't necessarily choose his circumstances, but he can choose his thoughts. So indirectly, yet surely, he can choose his own circumstances.
You right. You right. I ain't real.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, cool if I get some